Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name is Carrie, and I'm a full-time trader in the crypto and Forex markets. Today's video is going to be an update on Bitcoin, Luna, SP 500, and the DXY. Bear with me, it's going to be a little lengthy, but I feel it'll be worth it. I am offering a special that if you sign up for the Discord for 6 months, which is already discounted, you get all the course material included. So you get the course material and 6 months worth of Discord. Take advantage of that before my course comes out in a week. It will be the last offer before it comes out. All right, let's get started. I'm on the 3-month time frame. Yes, we have another month left of the 3-month candle, but I wanted to talk about what is it that we need to do to turn this around. As you have noticed, we have made higher lows here. Okay. We need to continue to make a higher low. The last low was at 32,933. We've got to close this 3-month candle above that. We also need to break the high of the previous 3-month candle that is sitting at 48,240 and close above it. It would create another higher low, and then it would create a higher high above the previous 3-month candle. That's what needs to happen on the 3-month time frame. On the monthly time frame, I'm sure as everybody knows that we have broken the 21 MA. If history is going to repeat itself, we have a high probability that we're going to come down to the 50, may even wick through it. What we definitely want to do is stay out of wave 1, and that's sitting at 14,000. If we can stay out of wave 1, then we still have a chance that this is a 4th wave and we can push up for a 5th. Okay. On the weekly time frame, we are not yet to the 100 MA. We all know from my previous videos that when we break the 100, we come down to the 200, hold, or we wick through to the 300 and close back above into the 200. So worst case scenario, if we were to wick down into the 300, we could stay out of the wave 1. Now there's a rule of alternation where if wave 2 is deep, which wave 2 was deep, that wave 4 should be shallow. But it's a guideline, it's not a rule. So if wave 4 ends up being deep too, it doesn't mean it isn't a wave 4. The only thing we have to do is stay out of 1. Okay? I'm going to take that off. All right. We've been over the counts many times of what this can be. We'll go over it again very quickly. We have the triangle. We need to push up very soon. It's getting very close to the trend line. I've had a lot of questions. Why can't we move C over here? Well, because you can't ignore hits to the trend line for one thing. We can't just ignore a hit and not give it a letter. Okay. Also, I've talked about that triangles like their symmetrical legs. And pulling the D down like this and pulling the E like that, I just don't think that's proper. Okay. All of these legs hit a 786, and then we're going to accept one that hit a 382. It just, I just don't think it's correct. And another thing we have to consider is true triangles. They like to be able to be drawn in RSI. Okay, this is a big deal in my system. The top trend line is just fine, but the bottom trend line is not able to be drawn. We have this lower low right here where we should be able to draw it like this, and we can't do it. So the chances of this being a true triangle because of that are very much slimmer. So keep that in mind, okay? But even if I am completely wrong and this is a D and this is an E, okay? We are going to be looking for this same exact thing. And that is a 5-wave move off the bottom. Okay, nothing else is going to work to get us out of here. It has to be a 5-wave move. And we will talk about what that should look like. Okay, we have the WXY. I talked about in my last video that there is a chance that this Y can truncate at this 618 and that these fib extensions are lining up really well. So if and when it gets down here, we need that 5-wave move off of this fib level. If it doesn't happen and we make some type of flat, well, that means we're rolling over again. Okay. Nothing will work but a 5-wave move. If we don't hold that fib level, well, then we're probably coming down to the next support. And if we don't hold it, then we're coming down to the next one, and so on it goes. But every time we come down, we need to look for that 5-wave move on the low time frame. All right, let's move on down here. So this is the area that we need to talk about. This is the count that I have been looking at for a long time. Now I know that a lot of people on YouTube are drawing this as a falling wedge. Okay. And they're expecting a break to the upside. That's how pattern traders, or whatever you want to call them, that's how they see it. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But I am looking for this count where eventually this leg will pivot, where the white middle part is an inner degree and the yellow is a larger degree. This is what I call sandwiching. Okay. If we don't hold where we are now and pivot off of this channel up towards the top, and we break the channel, this count is an A, a B, and a C. What we're looking for is this B leg. If we don't hold the 1-to-1, then we're coming down to the 1.236. If we don't hold that, then we're coming down to the 1.382. And as you can see, pulling the fib extensions for both legs here, this is all lining up perfectly within a few dollars. Pulling an extension on the A leg gives you the expanded B. This first extension right here is lining up exactly perfect with the other ones. So if we do get down there, I will be looking for a move to the upside. But the only thing that's going to work is a 5-wave move. Okay, remember that. And when we get down in this leg here, I'll show you what we're looking for. If you notice this area right here, when the market is coming to the downside, okay, what we want to see is a V-shaped recovery. We want this first bounce to take out the prior supply zone right there. We want it to pull back and find support in that supply zone and then kick off. If it's going to be a 5-wave move, it'll kick off, give you a 4th, and then a 5th wave. One more time right here, V-shaped recovery. This initial pump took out that supply zone, find support on it, and then off we go. That is what we're looking for on the lower time frame. Okay, hopefully that will help. With a stop at the bottom, not financial advice, but that's where the stop goes. All right, let's take a look at this leg right here. I see this leg as a W, 3-wave move for an X, and this looks like it's creating a 3, that this is going to be the connector here that could get bigger, or it's done. And then we're looking for 3-wave move to complete the Y. At that point, okay, we need to V-cut recovery, take out that supply zone, find support, and launch off with a 5-wave move. Okay, that's what we're looking for. All right, let's move over to Luna. I see Luna as, let me move this over, a 1, a 2, a 3. That is the highest point on RSI. Divergence between the 3rd and the 5th. 3rd wave, 4th wave. I see this as a 5th wave, and now let's talk about this. A little too high there. The white 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ending diagonal. Yellow 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, I'm sure you notice that Luna has not dumped very hard. You would expect after a 5th wave is done to get a very harsh rejection here that takes it out in less, same amount of time or less. Okay, and it's not doing that. So what does that mean? Well, to me, it means that Luna, because it's so incredibly bullish, could potentially be leading up to an extended 5th wave. How does it do that? Well, you get your 5 waves. Okay. Inside of your 1, you have 5. Inside of your 3, you have 5. And inside of your 5, you have 5. The 5 waves inside of your 5th come, and you think that your 5th is over. You're expecting a very harsh rejection, and it doesn't come. You get a very controlled correction, and it finds support on top of its 3rd. Look what's happening here. We have a very controlled correction so far, finding support on top of the 3rd. Okay, it can't break this bottom right here. What this actually is it's not the entire 5th wave. It's the wave 1 of the 5th. So this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you get an overextended 5th wave. So right here in Luna, there's a possibility, because it's not rejecting very harshly, is that this wave right here is actually the 1 and the 2 of a big extended fifth wave. Okay? Where the 5th of the 5th is going to get overextended. Very high probability of that. Now, if we break this low, then it's over and we're correcting. Okay? All right, let's go to DXY. I'm trying to go as fast as I can here. I've got 3 indicators on my chart. The TDI is one that you get special when you join the Discord. The Market Liberator is a Cypher indicator that for a small donation, you can have that indicator. Okay, the link is in the description below. And then the one at the bottom is my good friend Unrekted. These are his indicators, a total of 9. Wonderful indicators. So let's look at the DXY on the 2-week time frame. I went over this indicator in a prior video. I will put the link in the description below. But as you notice, all of these are outside what I call the cage. Okay? When they are outside of the top of the cage, it means that price is not able to break back into these Bollinger Bands is what they are. So if the DXY was to correct, as long as those are out, the price is not going to be able to come below there. Okay? You can back test these. You can back test it all the way back. You can see right here when they broke out the top. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? Let me see if I can fix this. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. Back here, you notice that price was stuck inside of here. It broke out right there. That's because these came out the top of the cage. Okay? Price had to stay above it until white came back inside. Once white came back into the cage, then price was allowed to break white. So as long as these are on top, even if the DXY corrects, it's not going to be able to come beneath there. Very cool indicators. Check them out. And I went into a lengthy video and went over them. All right, let's talk about DXY. DXY has this move to the upside that is an ABC. Okay? This area right here is a connector. It is a zigzag. What do I mean by connector? Well, a connector means that we need to give this leg a partner on the other side of the connector. The only other thing that could be happening is that we're making connector bigger. We'll talk about it when we get down in this leg, but unfortunately, the way that this leg is looking, it leads me to believe that we are making partner now, which would not be good for Bitcoin. But here's the thing. The DXY cannot pump forever. It has to correct eventually. Even with this pump, as you can see, half of it back. This pump, all of it back. All of these pumps had to be corrected. This pump half of it back. But those are huge pumps, okay? And we've seen what this has done to Bitcoin, all right? So let's get in there and take a look at what this is to the upside. Right here in RSI, we are creating a high point, which tells me that the third wave is not completely in yet. Because what we need on RSI is a down move and then an up move that gives divergence. So this needs to correct and then push up again to give us divergence between the third and the fifth, to let me know that this is the third of the third and this is the fifth of the third. And it hasn't done that yet. So I think that 3 is not here yet, but soon to be. This has got an overextended fifth wave, then a fourth, then another fifth, and then we'll finally get a decent correction. Okay. But this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 overextended fifth for the third that's not quite done yet. And then this fourth will give Bitcoin a chance to rally. And then when the fifth comes, it'll dump again. Okay. All right, let's move over to SP 500. I'm trying to hurry here. I know this is getting a little long. All right, I see this first wave is a leading diagonal for a primary 1 and a 2. The next wave is 1, 2 for in yellow. We are looking for yellow 3. Okay. In the middle here, for the yellow 3, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And the big question, is 5 done? As you can see, the highest point on RSI is right here in the third before the final third. See how it gives you the divergence? When I pull time from this 2 to this 3, this 4 is hitting time perfectly. So if we pull time from this 2 and assume that 3 is going to end very soon here, or it has ended, we have a very long 4 coming. When you take a look at this one, it lasted 9 years. Now, I'm not trying to scare you, but not all of those 9 years were down. Okay, 5 of those years were up. So not all of this 4 is going to be a dumpathon. But a lot of it is, unfortunately, when it comes. Okay? And it's just the way it is. Oops. What did I delete? We are hitting the 1.618 to the tick, meaning that this fifth could be done. Okay? So we're going to start from right here. I've got a 2 and a 4 trend line drawn. Okay? As long as price can stay above this 2-4 trend line, then it's not over and it can keep going. Once broken, it's telling you that this fifth is in. Okay? Let's move on down. All right, we've got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. The big question is 5 done? Again, high peak in RSI right there, divergence. Now let's dig in from this 4 upwards. I see this as a 1, a 2. This is a 3, a 4, and an overextended 5th. Okay, why do I think that? Because this is where the high peak is. All right, and all of this was creating divergence. So there's a high probability that it's an overextended 5th. Now, if it's going to be, say I'm completely wrong, and this is actually a 3rd wave, which I don't think so, but it's possible, and we're making a 4th, and we're going to get another 5th to the upside, and that the 1 is actually here, okay, then we have got to stay out of wave 1. So if this is going to be a 4th, it cannot come into 35.90. Okay, if it can pull that off, then there's a good possibility we've got another push to the upside. But it's then going to correct, and then we'll have to wait and see, does it break this low? Okay, can it turn this into a wave 1 of the 5th? I can't say which one is correct. If I said, it wouldn't be right of me to say. Okay, I could give my bias, but my bias could be wrong. Okay, I'm giving you the facts of what needs to happen. We got to stay out of 1 if we're looking for another 5th wave to the upside. Okay, if we come into that, then this is how the count was. And it was an overextended 5th. And now we need to see, can we keep from breaking this bottom? Okay. Now let's look at this. One last thing, almost done here. Hang in there with me. I see this as a 3-wave A, 3-wave B, and this can come as deep as the 2.236. But we don't want it to come that deep. We want it to hold one of these upper fib extensions. And we also want it to take off in a V-cut recovery, take out the supply zone before it, find support, and then kick off. Okay, we want a 5-wave move. We do not want to see something like this. What does that mean? It means we're going to connect this entire leg over here, and we're going to break that. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this lengthy video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.